Welcome back to another episode of GFreak Speaks, episode number 14. And today we have MEWMIYU joining us. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much for inviting me as well. I really appreciate that. Hello, everyone.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. I just want to let everyone know before we start, because I keep forgetting to do it, but this podcast is available on Spotify and Apple at GFreak Speaks, as well as YouTube for the video version to see MEW's fantastic pink chair. That is vibrant.
It is pretty vibrant, isn't it?
You're like, right now, if people watching right now, MEW has a pink shirt, which is the same color as her chair. And so she's camoed. She's got a camo shirt on right now. She's blended in with her chair.
Absolutely blending with my chair. When I assembled this, it actually literally snapped on my back. So I made a clip of that and people were like absolutely booming with that one.
Really? You pulled the side part and it just collapsed closed?
Yeah, so I pulled the side and then it just snapped on my back, fully snapped, and it just freaking shook the shit out of me.
Hey, did it hit the back of your head and knock your glasses off? That would have been good.
Absolutely.
Did it? Oh, I've got to see that. I've got to see that. But look, tell me, where do we begin with you? I came across you for the first time literally 3 weeks ago when Hades was talking about this tournament. And I've got a lot of questions for you, but let's start with where did you get into gaming to start with?
So I basically started streaming about a year and a half ago. I've been a gamer all my life, and even when I was a kid, I was already a big nerd. I was really into games. But before I was a streamer, I was a cosplayer first. So I transitioned from being a big nerd to being a cosplayer, and then transitioned to being a streamer.
Okay. So cosplay. Well, I just had Emmy cosplayers on last week for her episode, and she was talking about cosplay and different projects she's worked on and the commitment and hours that you put in. What was the most prestigious cosplay you've worked on for your own project?
I think I've done a lot of cosplays, but I mostly work with Riot Games.
Yep.
With League of Legends cosplays, and probably next month I'm doing a Sage from Valorant cosplay as well. And I've also worked with a lot of conventions back in the Philippines as I guess competitions in a national level as well. And probably the most prestigious cosplays I've did, probably my favorite. I won't say prestigious because that's a bit,
Okay.
I like to humble myself.
Go your favorite.
What my favorite would be from League of Legends. It was a KDA RE cosplay. I'd say it's one of my best. That's why it's my favorite. Yeah, I've done a lot of them.
How many hours did you put into making that?
So for hours, I'd say weeks. Since I don't have a lot of free time, usually I get other people to help.
Yep.
But putting it together, researching about the materials, and researching about the accuracy of the costume, because when I do cosplays, I like to be as accurate as possible.
Yep.
So I'd say one cosplay would take about a week or two to put together.
Yep.
Just not considering the timeline that it gets to be shipped around and everything, but just putting it together will probably be 1 to 2 weeks.
That's quick. That is I'm impressed. I am impressed. That is incredible too. I know that Emmy last week was talking, and she said that she works on it for a bit longer than that, I believe. But I think she's doing it completely by herself. And everyone's busy, and it's always like a side job, and you've got to kind of get it to work in the hours when you're available. And I guess you get home from work and you're tired and whatnot, and so on. But look, discussing before the stream, you were saying that you're a medical. Tell me about your medical experience, because so you're currently working in the medical industry.
Yes, that's correct.
So what are you doing?
So I'm actually a medical scientist, and before I graduated, I've actually worked at a military hospital. So basically, I worked in a military hospital, and then I came here to Australia, and now I work at a clinic as a medical scientist as well.
Yep.
And I took my degree in medical science to actually go to medicine proper to become a doctor as well. And right now, it sounds a little bit too much, but I am taking my second degree in marketing right now, which just started last month.
Okay. So the marketing, are you learning a lot about yourself with marketing, considering that, streaming is a big part in your life as well? Like, is it helping you advance, do you reckon? Or do you already know it?
Absolutely. um the experience you get from streaming and collaborating with brands is a huge advantage when it comes to studying marketing, but at the same time studying marketing actually gives you more advantage on how to hook brands to work with you.
Okay.
So like it balances each other out. So taking up marketing really helped me on how to pursue brands to work with me, and then at the same time, my experience in the content creation space helps me in a way that I can relate more to myself.
So hang on. I think I just lost you there, connection wise. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back. But for marketing, so say for example, someone wants to approach a brand. What are the first few steps and tips you could give them for someone new to it?
Oh, sorry, can you say that again?
So someone that is first time jumping into trying to get a sponsorship on board with their
Mm,
streaming, for example, say that they've got mediocre
mm,
numbers and whatnot, like fairly
mm.
decent. How do they approach a sponsorship brand for people listening right now?
Very interesting question. I've met with a lot of brand managers and partnership managers that handled brand deals or like sponsorships and everything. And what I can say is that the most important first step into getting yourself out there with regards to these deals is actually building a network. What I mean by building a network, like actually connecting with people. Like, yes, you can get your content out there for people to discover, and maybe you go viral or something, and then the brand will notice you. That's one way to do it. But for example, you're just starting. You have to put yourself out there. Like, for example, network on Twitter, network on Instagram. Follow people who are actual people who handle the brand deals and everything. And from there, you get a lot of networking and interaction, which will actually help you. Even there are people who get brand deals even though they don't have a lot of numbers, just because they know people who connect them to the brands that they want to.
Yep, absolutely. I look, personally myself, I don't absolutely pop off, but I can totally understand with what you're coming from there. Like I
Hmm.
find myself in a lot of brand deals and whatnot, just because of the relationship that I have with people, and just
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's like the camaraderie and the mateship. Like I want to make it work, and they really want to make it work, and so when you've got two parties that want to help each other a lot, I think it comes down to that as well. But it's very interesting. How do you balance your medical studies, the marketing, and the streaming? What are you doing there? Do you run on 24 hours a day, or do you run on like 68 hours a day? Like what's going on there, Mew?
Like a lot of people actually say, how do you do that? Because you seem to have like a lot in your plate. And honestly, when you think about it, it's actually a lot. I'm just pulling it off as like not too much. But so usually my daily routine goes like I wake up at 6 a.m. and then get ready for work, go to work, and then I finish work at 6 p.m. So it's like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's for medical work. And then right after that, I go to the gym for 1.5 hours.
Yep.
So I finish on the gym around 7:30, and then could be earlier. I finish at 7 sometimes, and then after I go to the gym, I head home. Start streaming at 7:30 or 8 p.m. depending on what time I finish. And then I stop streaming usually after 3 hours, which is around 11 o'clock.
Yep.
So 11 o'clock onwards will be my time to study, get clips from the stream, edit it, send it to my editor, and then sleep around 12:30 or 1 a.m. So that's my kind of daily routine. And then I just get a lot of rest during the weekends. So to
Yeah.
recharge and everything.
I totally feel you on that one. Do you have a partner by any chance?
No, that's
No.
probably why I don't
Okay.
have a fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I only do it like 4 times a week, but I know that sometimes, like, I genuinely, like, I'm so pumped to like have a relaxing like day off or something, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, just to kick back and do nothing and just chill with my fiance.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
that is crazy. Are you like in the mornings, like, because I get this, I've got a very similar schedule, though. I've got to get better with my clips. I haven't been doing it for a while. I've just been demotivated with that type of stuff, but working on the podcast. But do you find that, like, how tired you are with, when you eat and then you go to gym and like being able to go to gym and you're just like, you're doing your workout and you're just like yawning? You're like, yeah? Like, can you relate?
Absolutely. So I run on coffee. So every time I feel like I'm about to yawn, give me my coffee.
Just get ragey if you haven't had a coffee and stuff. What do you work out at the gym?
Absolutely.
What's the routine for gym?
So usually I just follow whatever routine my PT gives me. So
Yep.
basically it's just basic light exercises since I don't do much heavy lifting and everything.
Yep.
But just basic routines.
Yeah, basic stuff. Enough to get you by, like little reps here, like reps and lighter weights, bit of cardio, like running or skipping or whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I like it. I like it. But I want to touch base on how you were saying that you're not a full-time streamer. And you actually, did you start on Twitch and then move to Facebook and then come back to Twitch? Is that how did it start?
I actually started on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started on Facebook and then moved to Twitch. So I say that I'm not a full-time streamer because I don't do content creation full-time because I still have a full-time job and technically I am a student.
Yep.
That's why I don't consider myself a full-time streamer. But a lot of people say that technically I am a full-time streamer for me, and like I earn a decent amount of money from it, as well as I keep a constant schedule and upload constantly as well.
Yep.
But so I started in Facebook. I got most of my fan base from Facebook gaming, and then I was a partner at Facebook as well. And then last year I took a 6 month break.
Okay.
People did not hear from me for 6 months straight.
Just disappeared.
I just disappeared. My existence was completely wiped off of the internet.
Yep.
And then when I came back, because I was living in the Philippines before, and then when I came back, everybody was surprised. Oh my God, why is she in Australia?
Yeah.
And then I didn't stream on Facebook anymore, and I said, hey guys, I'm on Twitch now, and I'm on Australia now, so surprise and everything. So most of my fan base followed me from Facebook to Twitch.
Yep.
So when I switched, I didn't expect people to, completely transfer just to watch me. But I was super surprised when my Twitch popped off because when the moment I came back, I was actually partnered for Valorant.
Yep.
So the moment I went to Twitch, I was doing watch parties with like drops enabled and everything. So a lot of players and people came to my stream because it had drops and everything.
Oh, mint. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like the perfect timing to grow my following on Twitch. So everybody who went there for the drops, I managed to reel in and like transform them into my followers.
Yep.
So that's a big transition for me. It was very scary, but at the same time, I'm surprised that I outgrew myself in the past few months just because of transferring to Twitch. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what did you do in that 6 month period? Can you say? Were you like an SAS operative? You can't say it, or like what did you get up to?
Like I just literally took a break, went to vacations, just full on. I wanted to get rid of social media. It's like a cleanse, if you may.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was amazing. It was the best break ever because you get a lot of self-discovery. You energize yourself. It's like reinventing yourself in a way that would benefit you and your audience.
Yep.
So I felt like the break really did help me because I found myself again, and then I found the motivation again on why I actually started streaming, because sometimes you get burnouts and everything, and when you get burnouts you tend to put out less quality content.
Yep.
So when you take a break, try to reinvent yourself, and then you come back stronger. I think that's the most important part.
No, that's it. And so you came from the Philippines, correct? So you were born in the Philippines and you came to Australia. So how was the internet's probably better over there than here. We suck for internet, but how was it over there? Because is it like Twitch over here is not really that big. We're like 10 years behind America. It's kind of like just coming in now. How was it over in the Philippines? Say that you're a streamer and cosplayer at the time, were you? Yeah. How was that received?
So, the internet there actually sucks more than the internet here.
No.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
So, the internet I experience here is so much better, even though it still sucks. It's so much better than back there. But, being a cosplayer that had a following already, and then transitioning to being a streamer in the Philippines, it's a little bit quite easier for me.
Yep.
I think it was a bit of a hack, if you may say. Like, I cheated my way to the streaming community because I already knew a lot of devs. I already knew a lot of people from gaming organizations. So it was pretty easy for me to get into like the gaming scene, because I cosplayed a lot of games, and like for indie games as well. So it was pretty easy for me to get into the great gaming scene because of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So if you want to become a big streamer, be a cosplayer, know the devs, shortcut your way through, mint. Okay. You need to write a book. You need to publish this stuff. You need to publish this. That's what's up. But so how did your parents receive this? Like, what did you tell your friends and your family what you did? Like, was this? So you were studying overseas, over in Philippines still, and you're also doing the streaming as well. So how did they take that on board with what you were doing?
My parents, luckily, my parents are actually very supportive of me, because ever since I was a kid, I was a straight A student. So they didn't really object as much, because as long as I keep my grades up and I was passing everything, they were good to go. And aside from being a streamer, I used to manage a coffee shop as well, and then I did a little bit of my own business as well. So I earned my own money ever since I was studying in uni.
Yep.
So my parents like, yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as you earn your own money, as long as you're happy, as long as you don't, fail from uni, you're good to go.
Well, obviously not with the degree that you're doing. Okay. But if you fail, then you're in big trouble. You got to do it again. So
absolutely,
you definitely got to switch on. There's that fine line where for yourself with that tight schedule, you've got to get your sleep, and then you've got to study, and you've got to do your time, and whatnot. But what's the goal? Like, are we aiming to be a full-time streamer? Are we aiming to be a full-time cosplayer? Are we aiming to be a doctor? Like, what are we going for here, Mew? What's the goal? What's your goal?
It feels like right now I am doing like a lot of stuff, and there's like a lot of my plate. But honestly, I'm still thinking through what I actually want to do in life. Initially, I wanted to be a doctor as well, but streaming has been really, really good for me. So I want to be a full-time creator as well. So honestly, right now I'm still pretty confused, but I'd still want to finish my medicine degree. And maybe I'll be a full-time streamer, but I can flex. Hey, I'm still a doctor, even though I'm a full-time streamer.
Yeah, I get you. Hey, people are going to start coming to your stream and be like, do people come to your stream and ask you to diagnose them? I've got a sniffy nose. Mew, help me out.
Yeah.
Do they?
They do ask for that, but I just always tell them I'm not a doctor.
No.
It's like, go to your GP. But like when they ask about just like normal science questions, like I tend to answer it.
Oh, you're like, have you heard of Dr. Carl?
No.
No? Oh, Dr. Carl's on this. He's a doctor on Triple J. And people always ring up and they ask like these questions like, why is the sky blue? And how come the toilet water spins this way? And why when you like, it's just like all these questions that like no one should really know, but he knows the answer to all of them. Like he always has an answer for everything. He's incredible. Shout out to Dr. Carl out there. But I want you to tell me about your podcast as well, because you do that every Thursday. And run me through it. Tell me about that, because that's really interesting.
Yep. So, actually, a lot of people stayed on my streams when I was still on Facebook, because I tend to do a lot of podcasts where people can share their experiences, ask for advice, or generally just share their stories. And I think that connecting with my community in that way really built a genuine connection, because without that genuine connection, they wouldn't have followed me from Facebook to Twitch.
Yep.
So I feel like that I have a strong bond with my audience. So generally, how the podcast goes is it's actually just everything under the sun. Like, I know a lot of streamers don't like their chat trauma dumping.
Yep.
If you might say trauma dumping in their chat, that's why I try to avoid that as well. So I decided to like, well, we're gonna do this specific day. We do Thursdays for comfy nights. So we call it comfy nights just because everyone can share everything under the sun. Or like, and some people are afraid to, be known. That's why I made it anonymous.
Yep.
So they can feel safe. So with my podcast, I tend to talk about life experiences and everything that I say, and all the advice that I give are from books that I've read, from my own personal experiences. And a lot of people seem to relate to that, because the main selling point of podcasts is to be like relatable, comfortable, and you can learn something from it.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I think that's what my podcasts are all about. It's about giving people a comfort zone and a safe place where they can share their experiences and feelings without the fear of being judged by anyone.
Exposed.
Yeah, exposed.
Although I would assume that you're just the mediator, correct? And you're not putting out your things, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they send in their forms or whatever, is it an audio file? Is it a script that they write out and you read it, like, or they come on with a voice disguiser?
So it's basically I just read it.
Yep.
But sometimes what happens is that they send in a YouTube link, and I've got people who wrote songs, like actually written songs and recorded them, and it was like messages for their exes, songs for their loved ones, and everything. So I've seen like really talented people, and they just write songs and record them like it's an actual freaking hit.
Okay.
It's been amazing.
Jeez, I feel like there'd be probably some people out there that'll probably like write you love songs and stuff, man. I reckon in the middle of the podcast, she's like, hang on a second. This isn't like a trauma story. This is a love story, and they're trying to pick me up. Okay, I feel like you'd cop that a lot, man. But so how long ago did you start this podcast? Like, when did you think that this would resonate with your audience so positively? When was that?
I think ever since I started streaming, because I'm not very good at games, so obviously people won't watch me for my pro gamer.
No, you are the best. Come on, you've got to gas yourself up, man. Yes, you are the best.
So like, I know I'm pretty terrible at games, but I still enjoy them. So I tend to levitate to being a variety streamer, and then since I'm never like the pro type of gamer, I've always been like the wacky, clumsy girl who always dies on like stupid spots.
Yeah.
But I felt like my audience, a lot of them, I vibe with them a lot, and then they try to treat me as a friend, and then I've come to a realization that I can actually share experiences with them. And then one night I just thought, hey, maybe we could do just a just chatting stream where people share anything. Before, I used to do Discord calls with them as well.
Yep.
So I pulled them to like my stream room on Discord, and they just share it, and it was so well received that I continued doing it.
There we go. Maybe you should become to study like a therapist or something. Like I think that you're doing two in one here. Like you're doing it, but you're not even studying it. Have you ever actually considered doing that?
I did take up psychology in uni.
Yep.
So I'm actually gravitating towards being a therapist before.
Okay.
Because I used to do a lot of charity works. I tutor children for free. I've volunteered to become a tutor for deaf students as well.
Yep.
So I really tend to gravitate towards helping other people.
Yeah.
So it has been like I felt like I wanted to do that in my streaming career as well.
So obviously you speak sign language too?
Yes.
Fantastic. Have you seen, now this is a real change of topic. Have you seen A Quiet Place, the movie?
Yeah, just a bit of it. I didn't finish it at all.
Didn't you? Did you? Wait, is that because you didn't like it or it was scary?
It was too scary.
No, Mew. It's honestly, promise you, it's not really that scary. I don't like scary things, okay? I'll never watch it. Only reason I don't watch it is because I'm fine during the movie, okay? But when I'm at home alone at night, no, I just can't sleep, okay? So it's just yeah, I don't generally tend to watch scary movies, but this movie, it's more like a thriller, I reckon. Honestly, it's not scary. I can promise you it's not scary. It's like saying that butter chicken's like spicy. It's not spicy. I swear to God. It's not spicy. So yeah, Quiet Place. The reason I bring that up is because the girl, the girl actor, the young girl, she was actually deaf, and John Krasinski, I think his name is. He was one of the directors and the main actors, and he actually wanted to go out there and source a deaf actor for this role because it ties in so well with the movie because I have to be quiet. So like she's doing the sign language. I'm like, oh, that's just incredible. Like it's so good, but you have to watch that. You have to watch that.
I have to. Okay, now I have to.
Now you have to. Hey, maybe you should watch that with your stream. I know that you do your movie nights. You need to watch that. You need to watch number one, then number two. But what's speaking of movies, what's your favorite movie that's coming out this year? Are you pumped for anything coming out this year?
So I'm not sure what series are going to be released, but I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So I'm a big Marvel fan, so I've been looking forward to a lot of series from them. But I'm also a fan of the series called The Boys. It's an Amazon original.
Okay.
If you haven't watched it yet, they're coming out with the next season, I believe, later this year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm more of into sci-fi and superhero movies as well. So yes.
So do you like Star Wars as well? Surely.
Surely, I do.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
See, I remember. How did you think about the Mando? I haven't seen the new Boba Fett series. I've waited for it to completely come out, and then I'll just binge watch it with my fiance. But how was your experience with Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett without any spoilers?
Without any spoilers, that's kind of hard.
Okay, Boba Fett, we'll just say, was it good?
It was good.
Okay,
it was good.
And then we'll go to Mando. How do you think Mando was? Do you love it all and the storyline?
Yeah, I really liked it. When I feel like if I say anything else rather than I like it, I would spoil it. So.
I know.
But yes, I like it.
No, I tell you what I'm keen for. I'm so keen for the Obi-Wan series. Oh my, is that this year that it comes out or next year?
I'm not sure when it comes out, but I'm so excited for that as well.
I'm so pumped because it's like another trilogy because each episode is an hour long. So a movie's 2 hours. You got 6 episodes. Bang. I am so pumped for that. But there's also a Marvel movie coming out called Morbius, which I'm keen for. Jared Leto plays the vampire. I don't know. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I actually haven't.
You haven't? It
keeps
getting delayed. It keeps getting delayed. Yeah, Morbius is a vampire. So he's like a vampire, like anti-hero like Venom is. I don't know if he kills people. I think he actually kills people. So he's a definite anti-hero.
Yeah.
But the movie keeps getting delayed. But I'm so pumped for that. Same as Moon Knight. I think it's Moon Knight. You know that Marvel hero? No?
No,
Moon Knight's
I
another.
haven't heard of it.
What's going on, me? Are you a real fan?
I am a real fan, but I haven't heard of that. What?
Look, I'm gonna go. What about? Are you into DC? DC movies?
Just a bit, just because of Henry Cavill.
Oh, he's good looking, isn't he?
He is. He's pretty hot.
You got a crush? I got a man crush on him.
Absolutely.
I've
I
got
got a huge crush on him. Like on the Witcher series, he's top notch on the Witcher series. I've already got a crush on, like, Geralt already, and then Henry Cavill plays him, and I was like, it's done. That's it. It's over for everyone.
How do you reckon? Henry Cavill as Superman or Geralt?
Geralt.
Really?
Geralt. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's not even a fight.
Dude, I'm always hearing that TikTok. I was like, no. Fuck. Are you hearing that one all the time? It's all it is. It's because the Henry Cavill, man, like him saying that in one of the episodes of The Witcher. But how did you find the new Witcher?
The new Witcher, honestly, I quite like it. Not a lot of people loved it.
Yeah.
But not every movie or series based on a game and a book are gonna be accurate. But in terms of like the cinematics and like everything, the way they put it together, I really, really liked it. It was a pretty high quality series, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like when people get like really annoyed at storylines and stuff, but sometimes if the storyline goes the way the game goes or the book, it's a bit too long.
Yeah,
and then it gets a
absolutely.
bit boring. So I think that I like how with The Witcher there was always slow burn at the start, and then it would get into some sort of fight towards the end, and it was all you knew what was like it was predictable in the way that you knew that what was coming. But it was also unpredictable in the way that you don't know what is going to be coming, which is what I loved so much. But there's another series that I'm watching called Ozark. Have you watched that?
No.
Jason Bateman. It's like the Mexican mafia and all that type of stuff. But I'll let you check that out if you have time. It seems like you got a real tight schedule. But before we wrap things up, Mew, is there anything else you want to chat about that people may not know about you?
I feel like my life is an open book because I treat my audience as my friends, if you can say. So, they basically know everything about me. Not much of a secret. They even know where I study.
Oh no!
Like most of my subs know my area and everything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We won't say that on today's podcast, though. We'll just keep that hush.
Absolutely.
No, but look, Mew, a couple of things. First thing is, where can everyone find you on the socials?
So, on the socials, you guys can find me on Twitch. I mainly stream on Twitch now, but I also post my clips everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean I post them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok as well. So if you guys want to follow me, make sure to follow me on. You can just search up MEWMIYU as in my name on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Is there anything else that you're not on? Like, honestly, you've got all of it. I love it. Just quickly as well before you go, what platform do you reckon is doing the best for yourself? What is growing the best? Because I find Instagram right now, it actually sucks.
Absolutely. For me, I think I grow a lot on Twitch nowadays because the algorithm is favoring me a bit. A lot of people see me on the browse page.
Yep.
But if you're not growing as much on Twitch, I reckon that TikTok will be a really good way to put yourself out there because with the TikTok algorithm, you can get viral and get a lot of views coming in from TikTok to your Twitch. People actually visit you. If you're a small, if you're not that big yet of a streamer, you can try this app called Hover. It's not a very known app yet, but it's on its, I believe, beta phase. So on Hover, it's basically TikTok, but for gamers. So they have a niche audience where everybody on that app is basically a gamer, and most of them have Twitch. and you will find a lot of streamers there that post clips, as in like the TikTok clips, but it's on Hover, and you will find that a lot of people there actually do visit your stream. Like I've got 100 followers in say 3 days from Hover than on 100 followers that I caught from TikTok.
Okay.
So go check out Hover, guys.
Okay, I,
It's really
I
awesome.
did hear from one of my buddies, Bluey. Shout out to Bluey. But he was saying that it's very like you follow them and they follow you. But he was also saying that it's very like overpopulated because everyone there has the one objective of just watching, like just getting the viewership. So they'll come by, but then you'll never see him again. So it's
Ah,
that's what he was
that's
saying from
sad.
his experience with it. He's like
Yeah.
he just found that TikTok for him just works the best. But I think that it's also implementing live streams as well, so people have their phones up when they stream themselves. I don't know if do you do that as well?
No, but on Hover, what happened to me was I don't really follow a lot of people there, so I just post my clips, browse, and interact. But I've got a lot of traffic from there,
Okay.
and I've met like genuine people who had connections there, and
Yep.
they still watch ever since I met them on Hover. They've been on my stream for a month already. And
Really?
they've become my regular viewers. So, and I don't do follow for follow as well. So I don't follow most of them, but ever since they become my regulars and everything, I tend to interact with them a lot.
Yes.
So I've got people coming from Hover who has 12K followers, who has 500, and then sometimes you just vibe with people, you know?
Absolutely. I forgot to ask you as well, but I know I'm trying to wrap this up, but I forgot to ask earlier, Mew. But how come you change from Facebook to Twitch? Now, this is going to be a personal question. Where was the financial better? If so, what was the percentage? Don't give me the actual money amount, just the percentage. Was it a plus, minus? What got you onto the Purple platform rather than on Facebook?
That's actually a pretty good question. A lot of people ask me why I transferred because on either platform I'm always partnered. So the reason why I transferred to Twitch was because of my move to Australia. Because I felt like if I wanted to target the OCE audience, I don't feel like Facebook will really give me a lot of growth because most of the people on my Facebook streaming platform was basically from Asia.
Yep.
So a lot of people there were from the Philippines or Southeast Asia and everything. And yes, I have a solid fan base in Asia. But if I wanted to go more international, more globally, say, I want target audiences from the US, I want target audiences from Europe, Oceania, and everything, I felt like I had to accommodate the international audience a little bit more. And I know a lot of my audiences from Asia will follow me to Twitch because they also know that platform.
Yep.
So it was a big decision whether to completely like try and risk my solid fan base to try and expand. So the outcomes would either be I would lose both because I could probably not grow an international audience, and then I would also lose my Asian audience just because I moved to somewhere they weren't familiar with. But I'm very glad I took that risk because aside from retaining my solid audiences, which moved to Twitch as well with me, I also gained a lot of traction from the international community. So that's basically one of the main reasons that I transferred because I wanted to push myself a little bit more in terms of growth.
Yep.
And yeah, and I felt like the environment on Facebook wasn't for me anymore.
Yep.
It's like I outgrew myself in Facebook. So
Okay.
let me try this other platform instead. Yeah.
What was your viewership on Facebook compared to Twitch?
In terms of viewership, before in Facebook when Among Us was when Among Us actually blew up, I averaged probably like 2 to 3K.
Yeah.
And then when Among Us died down, I averaged around say 300 to 1,000, depending on the day or depending on the game I'm playing. I was actually surprised that on Twitch, when the Valorant esports scene started, I started streaming Valorant and everything for the jobs. My views actually skyrocketed. Like I had one stream that I had 10K viewers.
And
10K
you're
viewers.
a beast.
That was the most insane amount of numbers I got that I never got on Facebook.
That's nuts.
It was actually freaking insane. I was like, what the heck is happening, chat? What? Who are these people? What? Am I tripping? That's 10K. That's not like 300. But like, so now on Twitch, I average almost the same.
Yep.
Around 300 to 1K,
Yep.
depending on what I'm playing and everything. So not much has changed. If I can say, I actually have a bigger retaining views on Twitch rather than on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, because I changed from Twitch to Facebook just to give it a shot. And I'm partnered on Facebook and stuff, and I just wanted to give it a shot and just challenge myself. I have been with Twitch for like 4.5, 5 years, so change it up, see how I go. I can always change back after a year or whatever, but I'll see. Like I said, I'll see how I go. You can build another audience and then come back, and whatnot. But financially, for me, definitely different, because right now I'm getting zero. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that because of the fact that I've got a full-time job anyway, like yourself. And I'm doing it for the passion and stuff. And my viewership's definitely like quartered and stuff, but it's all about that grind. You know, I had 6,500 people on Twitch following, and then, you know, Facebook, I'm at 350 right now, 350 people. That's it. So we got to slowly grow it up and build it and go from there. We both know what the grind is about. But look, fingers crossed we can do something with it. But otherwise, we'll see. We'll keep grinding. We'll be out here grinding. But is there any last words you want to say before we wrap up the potty?
Any last words? Probably, I want to say to everyone who's grinding that, no matter what happens, don't let other people, minimize or, you know, a lot of people will not appreciate your success, but at the same time, don't let that get into you. Just keep grinding, and everything will fall through in the right places at the right time.
That's a heartfelt message right there. I'm just about to tear up you, okay? Just about to cry. One last thing before I head off. Mew, where do you store your butter? In the fridge or the pantry?
The fridge.
In the fridge. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Mew, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. You're an absolute legend for episode 14 of GFreak Speaks. Until then, remember to be safe, stay small, and as always, boom baby. Peace.
Bye.